So let me tell you about my first Socratic dialogue. Maybe you've seen on my website that I used to facilitate a lot of Socratic dialogues. Those are a specific type of conversations with a lot of inquiry and deepening thinking, and it's quite an art actually. And I had seen it before. I had seen a few masters, true masters, in Socratic dialogue facilitating a Socratic dialogue, and I was fascinated by it. I remember the first time leaving a conversation like that, a dialogue, a true Socratic dialogue, and I pushed the door afterwards when I went out, and I remember this moment that I pushed the door and had this thought crossing through my mind. With this type of conversation, we finally discuss what truly matters. I remember having that thought crossing my mind. In this conversation, we finally discuss what truly matters. And it fulfilled me. So I kept on visiting that kind of meetings with people who wanted to have that type of conversation, and I began to read books about it, and I began to understand the theory, and I was a really sharp observer of what happened in the dialogues that I participated in. I even made notes and I analyzed them, parts of them, and I thought about it and I talked about it a lot. But then there is this day, an inevitable day when you have your first Socratic dialogue, when you lead, when you facilitate this first time. The first time I facilitated a Socratic dialogue. I still remember the day. I can see the table where we were at, and I can see these 7 people sitting around the table with me doing this process. And you know what? I was incredibly good at it. I so nailed that conversation. I was so good at it. And I was enjoying it so much. And you could tell from the faces of the participants that they were enjoying it as well. And then there was the moment that the master came. He was a man. Somehow it's always a man. He was a man. He was a lot older than me. He was already in his 60s at those days, and this is about, it's almost 20 years ago that this happened, so it's a long time ago. And he came, and I could tell that he was curious, and there was also a little part of him wanting me not to succeed. This tension. They want to teach, but they do not per se want you to be good at it. It was not a big thing, but it was a little bit present. And I noticed him coming up to our table, and he said nothing, but obviously everybody felt his presence. And I also decided not to stop our dialogue, but just to continue as if he wasn't there. So there was a little bit of power play between, not too much, nothing obvious, but it was there. And then he stopped the conversation and did not address me. He addressed the group, and he asked the group, it's still a little bit of power play, he asked the group what was going on. And then there was this one woman saying that she forgot time, and that to her was the criteria if a conversation was meaningful, yes or no. And she did forget about time. So it was a meaningful conversation, and boom, there it was, my first Socratic dialogue as a facilitator, and it was a success. God, I think there was this much space between the street I walked afterwards and the high my feet were when I walked home. I enjoyed it so much, and it was such a boost to my confidence and to my inspiration as well, to really work with that kind of methods, and the confidence that grows from it if you get it, you know, if you know that you're good at it. So yeah, I just wanted to share that experience with you, so you get to know me, and also to motivate you in a bit, you know. Maybe you will find something too, or you have found something too, that, you know, in spite of, you know, people might not really want you to, you're just really good at it. Alright, see you next time.